speech. Dylan will be speaking out of the Competent Communicator Manual, Speech 3, Get to the Point. Today, Dylan will be talking about how the sport of basketball impacted him and the many things he's gained from being on a team. Please help me welcome Dylan.
Hello, Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Basketball was a sport that I always loved. It was something I could look forward to when school and work became overwhelming. But the thing about basketball is that it wasn't just a game to me. It was a community that I was a part of. And set aside the scoring, the points, and the thrill of the game, basketball actually taught me several different things. I learned discipline, and through discipline I was able to concentrate on the small things that impact the overall game. I'm getting to notice this kind of discipline in other areas of my life, like school and work, showing up on time, getting my work done. So basketball has taught me a valuable lesson in discipline and how it can benefit my life. But I also learned teamwork. Basketball is a very team-heavy game. And without your team, it's impossible to win. So through teamwork, I learned to work with others and participate as a team member, and grow as a team. The last thing, but most important thing that I learned was dedication. I learned to become dedicated to what I was doing. I found that I had to work harder to become better. I had to train longer, train smarter, and train much better. Even as a team, we were beginning to learn that in order to become the best, we had to train like the best. And we needed to be dedicated, not only to our work, but to each other as well. But all these things were great lessons that basketball has provided to me. But basketball did not just provide just lessons. It provided a family, my teammates. My teammates were like my family. And eventually, as a team, we began to grow together. And we began to work together. And it didn't matter whether you're black, blue, green, or yellow. We were accepting of one another. And we cared for each other. And at the end of the day, it didn't matter if we won or lost. We were still a team. And we accepted that. And we acted like a team. But basketball did provide an excellent team and excellent lessons, but it also did provide an excellent experience as well. Every year, an East Valley Championship and the West Valley Championship would play at the U.S. Airways Center. And together, as a team, we won 3 years in a row, so we got to play at the U.S. Airways Center. That was always a fun and enjoyable experience together, and we'd all have fun with that. But there was always the support as well. Our families were always there. My mom on the sideline cheering for me. My sister, brother, friends, all coming to the game. And of course my dad, the coach, he was always there on the sideline as well, yelling at us whenever we did something wrong. But the support was still there, and that's what mattered. Whether we lost or we won, the support was still there. So basketball did provide an excellent experience. And overall, it did provide life lessons. It did provide a great family. But basketball was still a community of friends. My team was my friends. And we worked together. And we grew together. But it still was a community that I'd love to be a part of. And I will always appreciate what basketball has done for me. So I ask you, what community are you a part of that has impacted you the way basketball has impacted me? For me, basketball is a sport and a community that I will always remember and I will always care about. Mr. Toastmaster.
Dylan, great job. I really really enjoyed your speech. I felt that you had a lot of passion through your words, the things that you shared, a lot of feeling and emotion connected to basketball, and I felt that. I could possibly feel it a little bit more if there was a little bit more expression, and I think that comes as you are more relaxed, but I've noticed from your first speeches to now that you are more comfortable, and a great job on not using your notes, just a few backing up. You didn't turn your back, which was great, but just backing up and checking where you were at. But I felt like you did a wonderful job in expressing those things. Yeah, just a few pauses where you were trying to remember where you were at, but you didn't allow it to derail you and get flustered. You just paused and then continued on, which I thought was great. You had great organization getting to the point. I was able to follow your speech from the beginning all the way to the end. You took us through the steps of how it impacted you in several different instances in your life, and brought in your family and how that impacted you, but how it impacted your life going further. And you didn't just give us a, hey, I was a basketball star and I went and I shot baskets and now I'm so awesome. So sometimes sports can kind of either can turn somebody off if they're not interested in sports, but you brought in all the feeling and the emotion of the sport, which I thought was wonderful, and being together as a team. I love that you used your question at the end. Often I've seen in speeches where we bring the question at the beginning, and sometimes I've felt distracted when someone catches our attention with a question, but sometimes I often start thinking about that question, and I go off and I'm not listening to what the speaker is talking about. And so I actually appreciated that question at the end, because I was watching everyone, and when you brought that question up, and everybody was probably busy finishing up their evaluations, but I saw everybody's head raise up when you asked that question, so I think it had a big impact. And how I could, one thing I could suggest is when you use your hands, you use the same position every time. You kind of do this and then you go back to the same place, and maybe that's a comfortable spot, but I would suggest you just maybe break that up a little bit. Use your hand down to your side or over here, but just break it up so it doesn't become a pattern and can often get distracting, where you're watching this go over and over. So anyway, great job, and I really enjoyed your speech, so thank you so much.